Oh, hey guys, this is in the process of a tech bro meltdown here.
I already warned everyone.
with the screen orientation, which is like my nemesis because they make it really hard to change. But we did it. We did it.
I wonder if other people who live stream have as many tech issues as we do, or if it's just us.
I think it's just. No. I mean, I imagine other people have these problems. It's like. Oh, hold on. Let me turn my volume off on my computer. I think like this is like the rant from our very first live, and it's like all this shit with AI and the tech bros and all the things and they can't just make it easy to change the orientation during a live stream, and it makes my head.
It should just be like so simple.
It should be like a button. It's like, oh, change orientation. It's like, but it's not, and it's
okay.
Okay, calm down. Calm down.
Hi, everybody. We're so glad you're here. So Dan and Michelle are here.
Hello, everyone.
Alessi Scrabble Buddy is here.
I assume people are surprised to see Andrea because she was not in my thumbnail. I didn't expect her to be here tonight. We've had a lot of stuff going on in our lives, and she was behind on some things, and I needed to do some things here. So pleasant surprise. She got most of her stuff done, and she came to spend the night and do the live stream with me. So I'm super excited that she's here. Thought I was gonna be flying solo tonight. Plus it was a nice cliffhanger for y'all. I wonder if like we broke up or something. So I was trying to track some more viewers for the drama.
No drama.
No drama.
You know, it's even though we don't live that far apart, just not having a car and just trying to match up our timing all the time, it just doesn't always work out. So it might happen sometime where we're just not live streaming together.
Yeah. So and I wasn't with like the other thing you mentioned was I wasn't in your New Year's Eve video
because of your foot.
Because I wasn't there. Yeah. So that's I guess we'll segue right into that. My foot's been an absolute freaking nightmare. So as many of you know, I went through the process of going to the physical therapist and getting it sonogrammed and having some work done on my leg, which apparently like my calf muscle had some real tightness in it. And then, you know, the combination of strain on the calf muscle, that those ligaments go up into your foot. Then I have the flat feet, and I had bad shoes, and I've been walking way too much with way too much weight on my back, all these things.
And hiking on top of it.
And hiking on top. Yeah.
Pretty decent sized mountains.
Yeah, I mean, when we're hiking, I don't feel like it's a big deal because I have my boots, which are better shoes. But I saw the flat feet, and there are some issues there. So my foot finally was starting to heal and do well. Oh, the other thing was my parents were here.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been working on my residency permit, which means going from office to office to office to office to get documents and stuff, which means lots of walking. Again, like you said, we don't have a car. So I'm just
everything's on foot.
Constantly on foot. So I've been walking around with a cane, just trying to get all this shit done, trying to spend time with my parents and my Aunt Bonnie and take them to some places. And like it was okay. Like it wasn't giving me too much trouble. The cane helped quite a bit. Shout out to Dennis.
Dennis and Tona. Appreciate that.
For bringing me that cane so I could use it. And that made it pretty bearable. And even with all that, it was slowly getting better. Probably would have gotten better faster if I had just stayed off it. Yeah. But that's just not an option here.
It really isn't. Yeah. Not with the way we live. Yeah. We don't have a car. You live in a village. We have to walk.
Yeah. So, and then like as things got better, and this kind of segues back into my parents being here and Jesse's birthday and the Chestnut and Wine Festival, is I was drinking just poolfuls of red wine and eating lots of meat. We took my parents to a French restaurant in Corcha, which is amazing. Le Paris, if you are in Corcha, highly recommend.
Oh yeah,
just fantastic restaurant. And of course I got the beef bourguignon, which is like beef in wine. So I just like
beef in wine.
Yeah. So as my foot healed, then I got a really nice
we had that sushi boat.
We and Jesse's birthday, which if you attended his party, you also know I drank way too much wine. And then we went out for a nice little meal with Jesse, and we ordered the massive sushi. We'll say sushi chef.
Yes.
Just massive boat full of sushi. And so that's what I've been eating for like the past couple of weeks while my foot was healing. And of course, you know, it's not recommended to drink copious amounts of wine while you're supposed to be healing.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, my foot was healing. But then because of all that, I got a really nasty case of gout. So that was fun.
Not fun.
Yeah. So I got basically stranded here at the house.
Yeah.
And Andrea had been taking just incredible care of me for all the time that I had my problem with my foot and everything.
Trying to.
And she's such an angel. She really is. And that, led her to get behind on some things. And I had a bit of a scare because I had some other symptoms as well. So we thought perhaps maybe I was having some serious kidney malfunction. So I ended up our first day together on New Year's Day. We spent at the hospital, and I got a bunch of some tests done, which all turned out okay. My blood looks okay, my urine looks okay. So, long story short, I think maybe just
it was a fun experience.
It was another experience with the Albanian healthcare system, and in this case, I have to say, I think it was like my father's experience. It was really good. Like they were a little irritated that I was in there for that, because they thought like, oh, this isn't like an emergency.
And the hospital was pretty busy, and the ER doctor, he was clearly visually overwhelmed. He had all these papers on his desk, all the charts are on his desk. It's all paper charts here, and he was shuffling them around, talking to people, and then he did seem a little irritated.
He definitely seemed irritated at me, but he was like asking me why. He's like, "This isn't an emergency." Like
he said that at least 3 times.
At least 3 times, and I was like, "Well, look, here's the deal." So I have.
But there's also a communication issue, and he thought you were there just for the foot symptom, the foot swelling, we were trying to convey that there might be a kidney issue.
Right. So I was like, look, here's the deal. I've had this gout flare up, and it's lasted too long. I have a bit of a skin issue, which is actually really starting to clear up now, but I've had very itchy skin, including on my scalp, on my neck, and on my arms. My urine was a bit foamy, and I was experiencing back pain. And so looking at these things online, it was recommended that I immediately go get testing. So as much as I hate AI, I went into AI and was like, pumped in the symptoms. And it was like, you should immediately go get tested, because if you wait until after the holiday, which will be, wouldn't be until Monday, where I'd actually go in and like the private clinics and stuff like that would be open, which is what I would have normally done. Was saying you could have a really dangerous buildup of toxins in your blood during that time. So it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to go to the freaking emergency room and at least get a blood and urine test to make sure, just to rule out.
Yeah, just to rule it out.
I'm not going to die over the weekend from, or I need to get a kidney transplant. I was like, it was a little scary. Like I had too many of these symptoms at once. But luckily, knock on wood, it appears that it was more or less coincidence. I think my back is mostly from sitting on the couch and leaning over to do my laptop, and the skin might be seasonal dryness, or also could be related to the fact that I was like consuming massive amounts of meat and wine.
Yeah.
The foamy urine, kind of just had that for a day and it went away, and maybe it wasn't as foamy as I thought. I mean, what is foamy? Like, you're just kind of like reading text online, but I'm not seeing pictures of like what that meant. So, long story short, I'm okay. But you spent the entire day with me at the hospital, because it took all day. And so you got behind on things, and
the hospital was cold.
The hospital was freezing cold.
They had a couple like plug-in wall heaters, but they didn't do anything. And that hospital was it was a cold day too. I mean, it was, I think the high was like 32 or something.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there trying to be warm. And then eventually you got a bunkmate, another patient came in next to you. And that was kind of funny.
That was fun. He spoke Greek, so I was able to talk with him. And then his daughter and son came in, and they spoke English, and we were all able to talk a little bit.
Yeah. So he was laying down. They put him on an IV, an older guy. And the daughter, who was probably in her 20s, maybe 30s, and she's like, well, he thinks he has the flu. And she's like, but it was the wine. He doesn't think it was the wine, but it was the wine.
Yeah. So, so that's that's kind of basically what happened, and why, if you're wondering why Andrea was not in the thumbnail, it's because I thought
I didn't know if I was. I didn't think I was going to make it here this
didn't think
weekend.
she was going to make it here. Now I got to be to the point where I was mobile enough to be here by myself, so I could get up and like cook and like shower and do things like that. But
I left you on New Year's Eve because I wanted to go spend it with Jesse because that was special for us. So I felt bad leaving you here, but I knew you'd be okay for at least one night.
yeah. So she abandoned me basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's happened, and that's kind of like the update on, on what's going on with me and my foot. Spider Webster says, when I had a kidney infection, kidney stone, that is what changed my plans to move to Pogradec. The communication difficulty scared me. Being alone there.
I don't blame you.
To be fair though, like they like the doctor was frustrated with me, but I think once he understood like what I was trying to convey to him, and then a nurse came in and she spoke good English.
Yeah.
And she
spoke okay English.
Good enough.
Yeah, there were still some issues there. But I mean, like she kept thinking you were complaining about your skin, and it took a while to say we think it's a kidney thing.
But she picked
she
it
helped.
Up.
I will say though, you had to be pretty pushy to get them to do those tests. They were ready to throw you out, not physically throw you out, but he was ready to say, this is not an emergency, go somewhere else. They even told us, go to Korcha. Yeah. So for someone that like me, I would have just walked away. Like I'm not very confrontational. I'm very shy, and
I can be very confrontational.
And so you pushed, and I mean, finally they agreed to do the blood and the urine, which helped us feel better. And like you said, Michelle, it's better to be safe than sorry. We ruled things out, but
I mean, it could have been like if I had just been like, okay, and we didn't really have a way to get to Korcha that day because again, it's because Becca's not having a vehicle. The buses only run for so long. If I did have a kidney problem, it would have been a serious issue. Luckily, it doesn't look like I do, which, like, thank God, my numbers actually look really, my blood and urine test numbers actually look really good. I was actually, like, a little low on, like, the amount of protein. So, which makes sense because as soon as I started getting the symptoms, I went to, like, just eating salad. So there wasn't a whole lot of protein in my system. So that's where we're at with the foot thing, and but I'm still really happy with like the care that I got. Like I had to like push a little bit, but once they understood what the situation was, it's like I think it clicked. It's like that could be. That makes sense. Okay, so they were like, just go sit in this room, and the nurse she came in and took my blood and had me pee in a cup, and then. And
then we just were waiting for results. We waited several hours, but it was a busy day.
Yeah.
And it was New Year's Day, so we were kind of. I don't know if any of you saw the fireworks show that I posted. I mean, there was a ton of fireworks, a lot of kids with M80s and stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if they were just busy all night with possible injuries or something.
Yeah, and that's and I feel a little bit bad about it because it's one of those things where it's like I'm glad the blood test came out good. But at the same time, I feel bad that they came out good because it's like, I feel like I wasted their time. When
not at all.
But it's one of those things.
You have to make sure.
And again, if it wasn't a holiday, I would have gone to a private clinic and just,
everything was closed
right next to the hospital. But everything, even the regular part of the hospital was closed. It was just like the emergency room was like the only thing open that day, and it was like my only choice. And so that's what ended up happening there. But overall, I'm still really happy with the care that I got and the fact that they ran the tests and they tested for a lot of things. So I got a printout with all of my levels in my blood and my urine and was able to look through it myself. And
you got a picture of the printout.
That's right. For some reason they kept it, but
they're like, here, take a picture of this.
But
that's good enough.
Yeah, but I got the results, and I got pictures of everything, and I was able to like look at the levels online and see like where I was at with things. And it's like, okay, well, like it's not like a major emergency. We don't have to like rent a car and go to Korcha tonight. And we're gonna be okay. I'm still probably gonna go see a nephrologist. I mean, it's weird that I get gout because other than I obviously I'm eating like sushi boats and beef bourguignon and washing it all down with wine day after day after day.
I mean, it could be that.
It was the holidays, like give me a break. But still, I'm relatively young. I'm not the least bit overweight, and the rest of my diet's really healthy. I don't drink soda. I don't consume sugar. I use very little salt on things. And I don't eat junk food.
But you're still gouty.
Still got. Well, I do eat. I have a weakness for red wine
And sushi.
and meat and sushi and pancetta and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's. I'm sure it's fine. But a little bit scary.
Yeah.
And you were amazing, and you spent the whole day New Year's with me. And previous to that, when I had my ligament issue, you spent an enormous amount of time taking care of me while I basically just bummed down on your couch. And now we're back at my place. It's getting better. And hopefully I've got to go to Corcha on Tuesday. This is another life update here. I got approved for my 5-year residency. I mean, we may have talked about this.
We did talk about that. I remember everyone saying congratulations.
I had planned on going this previous Tuesday to Corcha to do my biometric work, but I literally could not walk. Like going to the bathroom was excruciating. Just getting from one room to another.
Even if we rented a car, took a bus, like you still have to, from Craig's house to the road is a decent walk. I mean, it's a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite that long.
No, I think it's like maybe 4 or 5 minutes. If you're walking fast, you can do it in 4 minutes.
For me, it's 10 minutes.
But yeah, I mean, like I was having a hard time getting to the bathroom, so it's like there's no way I was walking to the bus stop. And then once we got to Corcha, this was part of the convoluted thing. It was like you have to go to a special post office there to pay for the biometric stuff, and then you have to go to after that you get this little stamp, and then you go to the immigration place and you present them with the stamp, and then they do the biometrics.
It's so much walking,
as opposed to just going to one place.
Yeah.
So it was just out of the question. There was no way I could do it on Tuesday, which kind of sucks. I'm really just ready to have this done with. But hopefully things are getting better. I've been eating a lot of salad. I haven't had any wine. I've been drinking lots of tea and water. And it's Tuesday. I'll be headed to Corcha and going to the post office, getting my stamp, and going to immigration, getting my fingerprints and a new picture of me. And then I get my 5-year permit, so I don't have to go through this paperwork hassle again.
Yeah.
Hopefully ever. So my permit will be good for 5 years, and my understanding is after being here for 5 years, I'm already here 1 year, so it would be 6 years total. But so I guess 4 years from now, I can apply for citizenship if I can get the language under control, which is one of my goals. They require you to be able to speak Albanian pretty well. It's an excruciatingly difficult language because it's not related to anything else. Any other languages. It's not like French. It's like close to Spanish and even English. Like learning Greek. There's a lot of Greek words in English. People don't realize this. So many Greek words, and just basic like microscope. I mean, both microscope, airplane. All these are based on
newer words.
Greek words.
Are very universal.
And made Greek a lot easier to learn. And Albania is not related to anything, and there's no overlap like whatsoever. So it's tough. But
it's tough. Yeah.
If I learn that language, I can get my citizenship, and that's the goal. I'd really like to have citizenship in another country, and then hopefully Albania will get into the EU, and I'll have an Albanian passport and an EU passport. And at that point, I can tell the IRS to. Yeah. We'll get into that in a moment here when we talk about like the reasons I moved to Albania. None of it had anything to do with politics or taxes or anything like that. It's completely a cultural thing that I wanted to be over here. So that's the foot story. We'll move on to Christmas, and you got your friend there. So. This is just more or less just a fun story. So Andrea, previous to Christmas, I spend a lot of time at her house, and she her knives are terrible.
They're so bad.
So when we were in Germany, I got her a really nice German chef's knife. It's like, this will be great for Christmas. She'd been talking about how much she wanted an air fryer.
Like constantly.
Like day after day, air fryer, air fryer, air fryer. And I was like, oh, well, for Christmas, I'm getting her an air fryer. So I went out and I got her a really nice Xiaomi air fryer.
Very nice.
And I also got you a beautiful blue sapphire
Yeah.
stone that I had custom set for your necklace.
Yeah.
I had gotten her an
I
aqua.
wore it in the last video, but I'm not wearing it today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't show it off. So I found some loose stones and I bought an aquamarine
Oh,
one
it's gorgeous.
and the blue sapphire
Yeah.
one, not knowing which one would look best with your eyes. So
Mhm.
I gave you the aquamarine one
Yeah.
a few months ago, just
The one I'm typically wearing during the live streams.
yeah, just as a present. But then I also had gotten the sapphire one. I was like, I'll hold this one back for a special occasion. And I was like, oh, I'll do it for Christmas. So I got them both set and got you a silver necklace for it.
Yeah.
And I gave you that for Christmas as well, along with some little things, coasters and an apron.
Yeah.
And some stuff like that. But the big things were like this really nice chef's knife and this air
Such
fryer.
nice. It's so nice to have a real knife again. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. So I also just in passing, I was on Temu ordering her the apron and stuff, and like she loves like hedgehogs. So I bought her like this $7 hedgehog stuffed animal. And this is the thing she talks about. She brings with her everywhere. I haven't heard anything about the air fryer, anything about the knife. Basically, all I had to do was buy her this stuffed hedgehog, and I would have been good.
This is Rico. Everyone
We
meet
named
Rico.
him Rico. She takes him everywhere, and this
He
is
went to ship class with me today.
so. It's just my fun little story there.
I love all my gifts very much. They were
I
all
know you
very thoughtful, and I love how thoughtful they all were. But I love
She'll literally like I'll be sitting here and I'll get a text from her and I'll look at my phone and it'll be a picture of the stuffed animal.
it's Rico.
Rico. It'll be a picture of Rico. Because that's apparently like the best gift I got you this Christmas. Despite all the thought I put into everything else, Rico is what
Is
did.
the winner. Well, now you know how my brain works.
Yes.
Everyone's saying hi to Rico. I appreciate that.
So next year I'm getting you a $7 stuffed animal and calling it good. Now, to be fair, like the chefs, like I cook at her house sometimes, and like I was like, I'm not using any of these knives again.
They're
Like,
so dull, and I
hate
have a knife sharpener here too, and it just isn't good enough to keep
them. Yeah,
keep them. It's yeah.
the tip is broken off of everyone here.
Every one of them.
It's like Jesus Christ, I just couldn't handle it anymore. And
Oh,
then-
the first time I sliced with that new knife, I was like, wow, I haven't felt that feeling since I was in America. Yeah, it's hard to find good kitchenware here, and I'm sure it's available, but I think it's really expensive.
it's available. I have some nice stuff, but everything you have is what came with your apartment.
Now I got most of my knives I bought myself from Spar
did?
or I got one from Spar, got one from Star Market, like just the
Oh.
markets around here. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to look. I mean, I've been able to find some decent stuff, but you do have to be very selective. And I literally got them at kitchen stores. I didn't get them at like the grocery
Yeah,
stores.
yeah.
But yeah, and then again, to be fair, like the air fryer was something you really wanted. It was a gift for you, but
We've
I was
been
also
cooking in that thing. Jesse has too, and it's funny because it's a smart air fryer. I'm actually really surprised that you bought me anything that's considered smart
I am
because you
too.
hate tech bros so bad. But so it connects to my phone. There's an app for it, and so now I get so we can name it. We named the air fryer through the app, so we named it the Fryolator. And so now when I'm over here, I'll see I'll get little notifications on my phone that Jesse's cooking something, so I can
Yeah.
always see what he's doing.
yeah, which is cool. If I knew it was a smart air fryer, maybe I would have not bought it.
It has a name.
Next year, it's going to be a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
That's my style. It's a good cast iron skillet. But to be fair, it's it was a gift for her. But also, I have to admit, the thought crossed my mind is well, if I buy her this, she'll make me some food. She'll cook me good stuff in it.
And it doesn't disappoint at all. It's so nice. I mean, to have something to cook bacon in and everything. It's been wonderful, and
Yeah.
Jesse's really loving it too.
And jokes aside, actually, it's really not a joke. The Rico thing is real. Literally, this is what I hear about constantly. And
It goes everywhere with me.
I get lots of pictures of them, and it's just a stuffed hedgehog, but whatever. But now, I know you love.
Me so much joy.
I know you love the air fryer, and now I'm actually thinking like, oh, I need an air fryer.
Yeah, it is nice, and it makes cooking so convenient because we cook so much from scratch here. There's so much less pre-made food here than in the U.S. So we spend so much time cooking. Then the air fryer is really nice because the other day we were busy. I just thawed out a whole bag of like chicken legs, and we just threw them in the air fryer with some seasoning and some barbecue, and I fried those up for Jesse, and it was so good. Everything that we've cooked has come out perfect.
Yeah, actually, I think what I'm going to look for is a convection toaster oven. Because a convection oven and an air fryer is literally the same thing. It's just they put like this fancy new word on it. An air fryer is just a convection oven. They made them plastic and small with a little drawer.
Mine has a window. I love that window because I can just peek in there without opening it up to see how everything's doing. I really love it.
Yeah. So when I was in Maine, I had a really nice tabletop convection oven, and it had an air fryer basket in it. And I would air fry things with that. I haven't seen anything of that quality here, but I'm sure if I go to Toronto, I'll be able, or even probably in Corcha, I'll be able to find a little tabletop convection oven.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll hold out for. A little more capacity, things like that. So, so that's the Rico story. Next thing, moving on. So actually, let's see if we have any questions or anything.
We've missed quite a few comments.
Michelle says she noticed the aquamarine. It's. I'm a guy, so I can't wear like stones. Like I can't wear like a stone pendant. I've got I'm a silver investor, so I keep my silver coin for good all the time. And but I can't wear anything like a stone. And I love the way stones look.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I do have the privilege of being able to get them for you. And I enjoy doing that. Let's see. We love Rico. Is the 5-year visa normal, or did that take another method? No. So, put Rico.
Yeah, Rico is going to join us.
The first time I got my residency permit, they said, no, you can't do that. The type of permit you have has to be renewed every single year. And I don't know if the law changed or if she was mistaken, because this time around, the first time I got my permit, I did it all myself, and I was just like on my own. This time, to do my renewal, because it was such a nightmare, I hired a lawyer, and I asked her to push for the 5-year permit, and I got a email saying that the 5-year permit had been approved. So either the law changed, or the immigration official was mistaken, or I just have a good lawyer. I don't know.
Who knows?
It's one of the things in Albania, you go to 3 different officials and you will get 3 different answers.
Yes, that is true.
And it's just, I assume that's getting better with them trying to get into the EU.
Sure.
Everything is becoming more
tightening
structured.
up.
Which is good in some ways, but it can also be a hassle in other ways.
Sure.
So sometimes it's kind of nice for the law to be loose. You get the wrong answer from one person, you go to a different official.
You just keep asking until
somebody gives you what you want. Right. So Dan, that's the answer to the question. That's what's worked for me, and hopefully after Tuesday I'll do my biometrics, and then it'll take about 2 weeks, and then hopefully I have my little card. And then I'll feel like a free man for the next 4 years until it's time to do the hurdles of paperwork that's the applications for citizenship.
Yeah. It'll be a great video.
Yeah, that will be.
Or a terrible video. Who knows?
Moving on. Let's see. Was there any other questions here?
We've missed quite a few comments. Lots of nice things. But I don't know about
Permit
questions.
expediter I use said that only people with a business can get it. It's not enough to own property. I do have a registered LLC here, so maybe that helped.
Going back, Rishi, sorry, glad you're here. Sorry, we missed your question about how many hospitals in Pokerdetch. So there's one.
Yeah, it's not. It's a very small city. I think the core like the metropolitan area of Pogradets, has got like 15,000 people. And then if you take in all the villages like where I live, from Tushimis to Buchimas to Castañas and Remain.
Is all the way up to Lynn count?
All the way up to Lynn.
So all those.
Memelish, Udinist, all these other
Yeah,
villages,
right.
like total the population of the Pogradets, administrative unit is only like 40,000 people, maybe 42, 43, something like that. So it's not a big population. So we have one centrally located hospital, and there is also a private clinic. There's probably 25 dentist offices.
There's a lot of dentists.
Dentistry is a big medical tourism thing here in Albania, and they do a good job. Some of my friends have gotten some dentistry work and got some new teeth put in, and they look great. So,
yeah, nice.
My friend Ramal, he got all new teeth put in.
Oh wow,
it's fantastic.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Are there additional private hospitals as well? Not in Pokradet.
No, just there is one. There's a private clinic,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the public hospital.
There's a private hospital in Korcha?
Yes, there is. There is an American hospital in Korcha.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the public hospital. There might be more than that in Korcha. Korcha is a much bigger city.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle wants me to tell about the LLC. There's really not that much to tell. Those of you who've been following me for a long time know that I went through a struggle to purchase my property here, because in Albania, you can own a house and you can own the land the house is on, but you cannot own agricultural property. And almost everything here that isn't the footprint of a house is basically considered agricultural property. So buying my house wasn't that big a deal. It's the house, the front courtyard, the back courtyard, and the area around it. But my backyard, where the orchard is, was zoned differently. It was zoned as agricultural. So just as a U.S. citizen, you're restricted and can't purchase that. However, if you own a business, your business can purchase that land, it's like a weird workaround.
Yeah.
So basically, I had to form an LLC, which is convenient to have anyway, if I want to use it for other purposes. So I had to form an LLC, and I actually don't own my backyard, my orchard. My LLC owns the orchard, and I own the LLC. So it's a very convoluted, weird workaround. Hopefully at some point that law will change and I'll be able to just put it all under my sovereign name. But currently the orchard's owned by the business and I own the business. It's just one of those weird things. And it's not something I would recommend. Like if you're thinking, oh, well, I want to buy a farm there, I'll do that. I mean, it cost me a fair amount of money. I had to hire lawyers. I had to pay a lot of money in taxes while the transaction was going. It was a little bit of an ordeal. So I wouldn't recommend it. If I had it to do over again, I would not buy a place with land. In fact, I'm looking at some other property around here. I would like to purchase another piece of property somewhere in Albania, particularly in Boskopoja, which is one of my favorite places, or one of the nearby villages up in the mountains there. And I could use that LLC to do that. But again, even though I already have the LLC, like the tax implications and the other things I have to go through to make that happen might just be too much of a pain. So at this point, I'm only looking at land that's zoned what's called Truall, which is like basically zoned for building on, which is not like in the U.S. where you have zoning in different places and it's kind of normal. Here, basically, if there isn't already a structure on the land, it's almost always zoned as agricultural. Even if it's a small plot of land.
Yeah.
Some of that's changing, and I have found some plots that were zoned for building on, but they tend to be more expensive, and so I'm figuring that out. What I might look for is like a ruin, something like that.
That would be cool.
Property with an old
Especially
stone
in
place.
Boskopoja, where there's so many of them.
Yeah, and then
feel like that would be-
that might be like the next big project for Andrea and I to restore a stone
That
house
would be
and
really
make-
cool.
Yeah,
We watch a lot of videos of people doing that.
yeah, it's intoxicating. The
It
idea
is.
of building our own little place or restoring one of these old
Yeah.
places. That would be a really, really cool project. And
Fun videos too,
yeah,
theoretically.
and we learn a bunch of skills, and it'd be cool. So we'll see what happens. I saw some other questions popped up there.
And these might be out of order. Nope. Alessi Scrabble Buddy wants to know, can Americans buy a villa?
Of course, yeah, you can.
Yep.
Just you got to make sure that it doesn't come with land. Otherwise, you'll have to go through the process I went through. Or a lot of times, what will happen is like the seller will be like, "Oh, well, yeah, you just buy the villa, and I'll still own the land, or like behind it, but like you can use it for whatever you want." That's what the people here tried to do when I bought this place, and it's like, nah, no, like I want to have this. I
Yeah.
want to own the I don't want you to own my backyard.
Yeah, that would be weird because there's no way for them to access it without going through your yard.
Yeah, and they wouldn't. They're just like, just use it for, we'll just own it on paper. We're not going to do anything. But like, 5 years, and I go, and you know what? Now we're gonna go build a villa back there.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut down some trees, and because it's technically theirs, and they can do what
Right,
they want. It's
yeah.
like I didn't want to deal with that. So I wanted the property to be in my name, or in this case, in my business's name, so that it's under my control and I can do what I want with it. And so that's why that's the way it is.
Let's see.
Do they offer a 10-year residency after the 5-year one? No. Here's the really good thing. Okay, so like I said, after 5 years, I can apply for citizenship, or if, like I say, I don't want citizenship for some reason, you can get permanent residency after that. So depends on
What's the
you want.
difference?
Well, citizenship makes you a citizen, so
Yeah.
now you can
So
vote, and you can,
You're right.
you have access to the like their Social Security, which is like,
I wonder why would you get a permanent residency versus a citizenship? Is there?
there's probably some tax implications or something along those lines, but I haven't looked that deeply into it. We'll get into this when we move on. One of the reasons I wanted to move here is I want citizenship in a country outside of the U.S. And so that's one of my long-term goals.
Mhm.
So it's no matter what the implications are, that's what I want.
Spider Webster says she's envious of your fruit orchard.
Well, it's been a lot of work and it has not yielded much. I've had problems. I had really good grapes.
Oh, the cherries were phenomenal.
Cherries were amazing.
And the grapes.
The grapes
were
are
so
amazing.
good.
I like making wine, which is part of the reason I drink so much wine. I've got just, bottles and bottles and bottles of it. So it's like easy access, and a little too easy access when I'm cooking. It's like, I'm just going to put a bottle of wine while I'm cooking. Next thing I know, the bottle's gone.
Dan is asking, he says he likes the restoration idea. Are the videos in Albania? There's a couple or a guy that's restoring a ruin in Italy.
Yeah.
The video is in English, but do you happen to remember the name of the guy?
Oh, he's got
Such a good
I
channel.
think he's from the Netherlands. Oh, he's from Amsterdam. That's where he's from. So I don't remember his name. He has a very popular YouTube channel. What's that thing where there's no ASMR or a...
Yeah, ASMR or something. There's not a lot of talking. It's a lot of just watching him build, and then we just watch.
Yeah.
And it is really satisfying. He does talk a little bit, but not much.
Not much.
Yeah.
It's mostly him and
Mhm.
his partner,
Mhm.
and like she sews and collects herbs and does all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
So they have really cool clothes.
Yeah.
They're living in these old stone ruins in the Alps that he's been rebuilding, and they're beautiful now. And now
Yeah.
he's building a new workshop area.
Yeah.
And they have cows,
And he has
chickens.
Between the two of them, they have every skill imaginable.
Yeah, it's
There's nothing
really,
they can't build or make.
Yeah, and then he's got he put on a big solar array in his field,
Mhm.
and so hopefully, fingers crossed that'll be us in a few years.
It'll be something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I've never worked a sewing machine, but I'll try. I'll make it some clothes.
Of course, once Andrea found out what happens to the cows, she's like, I can't do that. It's like,
I can't have an animal in
if you're gonna raise chickens and cows, it's
you give
they're
them
not
names
pets.
and you cuddle.
Yeah, so we'll probably just be buying food, even though we'll have a
We can
garden.
have eggs.
We'll have
Maybe.
eggs, and every once in a while, one of the cows maybe goes missing. Like I come home with a freezer full of meat, so we'll see. Do we have any other questions or comments?
Alessi Scrabble Buddy is asking, what's the difference between having a yard and agricultural land? Is it zoning or size?
That's a really good question. It's both, really. So, like I was saying, my house has property around it. So I've got a courtyard in the front that's walled in, and then I have like my patio area in the back, and then one row of fruit trees. And then it cuts off, and then it becomes a different plot of land, and that is my orchard, which has got like 100 apple trees in it. So it's fairly decent. I think it's like 1,500 square meters or something like that. So it's fairly large, but but it's not that big. It's not like like by American standards, it's like it's still bigger than most people's yards, but it's not like as far as the eye can see, it's a fenced in.
Yeah, it seems to me, and I could be wrong. This is just speculation. What we would consider a normal yard size here would be considered agricultural. I don't know, normal. I mean, like half an acre, a quarter of an acre would be like that would be typically zoned agricultural if it was its own.
I think so. It varies. I've looked at some properties where they had a yard and it wasn't zoned agricultural, but the yard was basically the size of this room, or maybe double the size of this room, which is no reference for the people watching this, but whatever living room you're sitting in, imagine a couple of those, and that would be the yard. So if it's any bigger than that, chances are, if it's any bigger than like half the size of the house, chances are it'll probably be zoned agricultural, and that's just a remnant of the way things were set up in the past. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a pain. You can apply to have it rezoned, but you have to submit a building plan in order for them to do that.
Oh, so you have to plan to build on it.
Right. Now, whether or not you do build on it might be another story. But you have to.
Right. I could imagine they probably don't follow up with that. But
who knows? But that's the thing. You have to present the cadastral unit with plans for a building, and not look, it could be a big shed or whatever, a little workshop, and then maybe you can get it rezoned. But obviously, if you're looking at a property that isn't yours yet, then the property owner would have to go through all that, and they're not usually willing to. So it can be, it's basically you can get a house with a little yard, no problem. Anything big enough that you could actually grow a fair amount of things, chances are it'll be zoned agricultural. Chances are, not always.
Yeah.
But that's just how it goes here. So, don't come here expecting, I want to buy a house and get a nice big chunk of land with it. That's not going to be the case unless you go through the channels that I went through.
Yeah. John, glad you're here. Says, glad you guys are well. When owning an apartment, is there a monthly building maintenance fee? And is there annual property tax on the apartments? Over in Fed to meet Dorjan to look for a place.
I'm going to let you answer that. I'm going to go put more wood in the furnace here.
So I'm in an apartment, and yes, there is a monthly building maintenance fee, I guess. Well, it's like a cleaning fee. So there's a couple that cleans our hallways. It used to be almost every day. Now it seems like it's maybe a couple times a week, and they mop and sweep, and we pay 300 lek a month, which is a little over $4. So it's super affordable. And then, but there is a yearly fee as well, which last year was $5,000 or a little over $50 at the time. But this year it's gone up to 100. What would the conversion be like? Maybe about $170. So it was a pretty big increase, but still, it's affordable compared to the U.S.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's 2 months in the U.S. for an apartment fee. It's not even maybe a month and a half kind of. Usually at least $100, I think. So
right.
Still pretty good.
One more part to that question.
It's about the property tax.
Yep.
So your property taxes here are paid through your water bill, and it's very reasonable. So I don't know what it is in town, but here out in the village, my property tax is $3 to $4 a month. It's very, very low.
Yeah. Alessi Scrabble Buddy says, oh wow, okay, thank you. I'll be careful to pay attention to that on the paperwork when I'm ready to buy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things you're going to need to be, pay attention to in the paperwork. Another thing is that There was communism here, and some of these buildings are old, and some of them are handed down in family. So something else that I did was hire an attorney to go through the property certificates and to go to the cadastral unit and to look at who all actually owns the property. Because you might, find a property
That's
here,
very smart.
and there's like, oh, this guy's selling it, and then you go to buy it, but it turns out he's got a cousin in Germany who technically owns part of it, and so on and so forth, and then they can try and claim it. So you want to make sure that that's taken care of.
Yeah.
And a lot of places don't have proper paperwork because they just never bothered to, they've lived there for for years, and they never, when the systems changed, they never bothered to go get a new deed.
Mm-hmm.
And
or is it true that a lot of places people just kind of built and claimed land not that long ago?
Yeah. So in the 90s, when communism fell, that's basically, might makes right. And you could just go out there with your AK-47 and put some stakes in the ground and say, this is mine now.
Yeah.
And build your place. And there might not be any paperwork at all. So
yeah,
it's very important to make sure that if you look at a place here that has proper paperwork and it's not owned by other people. Like in the case of this house, it was owned not just by the people I bought it from, but they also had a son in Germany. And so he had to sign on it as well. And there was somebody else, I think in the US, that also had to sign on it. So getting everything dealt with, the paperwork wise, for me to buy my house required people from 3 different countries to get documents and sign them and notarized, and it was a bit to do. And it's Albania, so a lot of families here have family members abroad, so it is not uncommon at all for them to have a son or something in Germany, and he technically is a part owner of the property, and you're going to need his signature in order to fully legally own the property. So that is a very common thing, something you really need to watch out for. Hire an attorney, get a good attorney that does property law here, and make sure that your ducks are all in a row, the paperwork is right, and every signature that you need is available.
Yeah. Now, if you're a condo person, there's tons of brand new condos going up, especially in Toronto, tons of them.
Yeah, and that will come with, because anything that's been
they call them apartments still.
Yeah, they do still call them apartments, even though you own it. But anything new like that, there's going to be the proper paperwork. You still need to make sure there isn't an owner that lives in Austria or something that needs to sign on it.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we? Dan says 4,000 square meters and an acre. Good to know, Dan. Thank you. Michelle says our building has an elevator fee of 250 euros, and you pay your property tax monthly with your utility bills. Yeah. I'm guessing you mean a year, the 250 a year, Michelle?
Yeah, that's a lot.
But yeah, still really good compared to the US.
I hope your elevator works normally. Yeah, you better have a functional elevator. We looked at a place for my parents, and the elevator was...
They had 2 elevators.
One of them was completely not functioning, and the other one...
It got you up.
Sort of.
Maybe not all the way, but we got off on it would only go up to a certain floor, and we had to get off and take the stairs up.
Yeah, but we had to press several buttons.
Yeah, the guy's he's pushing all these buttons. I'm like...
And finally, it got us to the floor below the floor we were supposed to get to, and even that was a bit of a struggle. So it's man, that's the kind of thing you really got to watch out for. And this is one of my big gripes about Albania, and one of the reasons I keep trying to steer my parents away from getting an apartment is they'll build an apartment and it's done, it's built, and now we're just not going to maintain it.
Maintenance isn't good, but it sounds like they're trying to change that.
I don't know.
What did I hear about that? There's a thing. It's a law now that they have to maintain the buildings.
Oh, well, let's hope, because your building is 10 years old, and it you go into parts of it, and it's it looks like it's been there.
Yeah, it's a brand new law, something about it. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact law, but there's something about they have to have maintenance now, and they have to have a building manager. That's it. Every building has to have a building manager.
Yeah.
Before they didn't.
Well, even with
they literally just sell off the places and then
even with a manager, that doesn't mean they're going to take care of it.
That's, it's a new thing. Again, they're working on it.
Yeah. So the one place we looked at, it was a beautiful apartment with a great view.
Yeah, it was lovely.
250,000 euros, and the fucking elevator doesn't work correctly, right? Sure. We're past the first.
Okay.
I think if you're past 3 minutes on YouTube, you can
cuss. Okay.
I am a former.
I don't think any kids watch our channel.
I don't think so. Hopefully, young Jesse's not watching, not polluting his mind with my F-bombs.
Rushi says, Andrea, what about availability of apartments in Pocodex in a 2 or 3 bedroom for sale? Are they plentiful?
Not really.
Not plentiful. I wouldn't use that word.
No.
Available, yes.
Yeah, there's a few.
You can find them.
We looked at several. You're looking at probably a minimum these days of, probably almost like 150,000 for something decent.
You think?
Yeah, like the ones we looked at. Like now, you could probably.
Well,
find
yeah, you're
something
talking 2, 3 bedroom. You're probably looking at that.
probably at least 150 to 200,000 for something that big. I think the cheapest one we looked at was like 120 some thousand.
Oh wow! For your parents?
Yeah.
And they wanted. You were looking at what, a 2 bedroom?
Yeah. Oh, well, we looked at 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And keep in mind too, even with a 2 or 3 bedroom, you're probably still only going to have 1 bathroom.
Yeah, having a second bathroom is relatively rare.
Yeah.
Relatively. I mean, it's not impossible.
Now, I'm sure you could find apartments cheaper than that, but they're not going to be. They might be a little run down and so forth. I mean, this goes back to my point about the maintenance on the buildings and stuff. So we looked at some places where you just go. It looks like Beirut from the 80s. You walk into the bottom of this apartment building, like there might be like some windows are blown out, like the floor tiles are all broken up, and it's like holy shit, like the trash and stuff in there. It can be really bad. So in order to get something nice, it's going to cost you. It didn't used to.
And I would imagine, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more options in certainly Tirana, but maybe even like Dura, Saranda, places on the coast. There's probably going to be a lot more options. I don't think there's as many buildings going up around here.
There is a lot more options on the coast, but now you're talking like at least 150 for a decent 1 bedroom. We looked at a couple places in Vlore, and the prices are just going up.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long. It was about a year ago that I was looking in Duras, and I found a 1-1 for 50,000.
Yeah.
It had a nice view of the water.
I don't think you'd find that today. That
would
be really
not even
surprising.
in Duras?
Probably not even in Duras.
What about like some of the smaller areas, like in between the big cities on the coast?
I think that might even be worse. We'll get into this. My next footnote here for what we're going to talk about. That's one of the things that you have to consider before moving here. So we'll just roll into that unless we have any more questions.
Jesse says, "How is Terry?" He's talking about Rico. I forgot that's you were Jesse. I saw you comment earlier, and I forgot what your name was on here, Jesse. Thanks for joining us.
Sorry about the.
I had no. So glad you joined us, but Rico is doing just fine, thank you.
As you can see, he's part of the.
It's an inside joke. I'm not going to bother trying to explain it. But Carol Schmidt says, "Gotta run.
Hey, Aunt
take
Chicky.
Care of yourself."
I didn't realize you were on with us. Love you, Aunt Chicky. Thanks for watching.
Glad you came.
So we're going to talk about if there aren't any other questions, which I don't think there are. Are there? I don't know why I keep looking at your screen. I set mine up so I can look at it. I guess what I'm looking for. John Gowan. I mean, you can find something like that, but for something nice these days, you're looking at probably 150. Now, I'm talking mostly like places with like a water view or something like that. If you're looking at something without like a nice view, you probably get something cheaper than that. But most I hate that word expats. Most people looking to move here, they're going to want like a place with a view. They're not going to want to stare at another building or something.
Yeah.
Like people's laundry out and stuff like that. That's just typically speaking.
Spider Webster says she had a question about bringing the knives back from Germany. I'm sorry if I missed that.
I just put it in the. It was just put it in the check bag. So it wasn't a problem.
Yeah. We certainly didn't bring it on the plane. Yeah. That wouldn't have gone over well.
It was strange to see American. Oh yeah, it's a Scrabble buddy. A lot of Americans are moving here, which is kind of like why I was going to get into our next point here, which we're getting almost into an hour now. So
yeah,
I primarily was going to talk about the next thing, and we've spent pretty much the whole time talking about other things. So
Oh, sorry.
that's not your fault. It's just
Oh, the why did you move here?
yeah, the why did you move here? Which
Oh,
was basically
shoot.
the title
Sorry.
of the live
Did I
stream.
keep distracting you?
No, I mean it's fun. It's like we had questions and
Oh, shoot. Maybe we should make that the next one,
it got
or
in.
is everyone going to be mad?
Actually, I don't think it's going to take that long.
Okay.
And
I
part
won't
of
talk.
part of it's going to be what we had already spoke about because we talked about my land and all of like that. That was kind of so we had kind of gotten into it. But so why did I move here? Well, it was like I said earlier, it wasn't like anything like political or it wasn't like save money or anything like that. Basically, my whole life, I've just always wanted to live in a foreign country to grow as a person. And since I was like in my early teens, I was like for some portion of my life, I want to live abroad and preferably somewhere in Europe and in the Mediterranean area because that's part of my background. And I have a keen interest in the history here. And I have one of my degrees in classical studies. So that living somewhere in this part of the world has always been really important to me. And that's one of the reasons I came. Now, Greek is my second language, and I had every intention of moving to Greece and finding a way to do that. It's very, very hard to move to Greece as an American unless you have a significant amount of money.
Or an online job.
Or a good online job, which, I had some money, but not enough to I think you have to have like $200,000 for the golden visa and then prove a significant amount of income after that in order just to get a residency there.
You buy the golden visa
So the golden
or you have
visa,
to have that?
You
basically
have to like buy a $200,000 piece of property and that entitles you to this golden visa thing. And they just changed the laws on it. It may have been updated now, might be more. I think they made it easier, but and when you get that, you can't work there or anything. So it's not like, oh, you get this permit, you can work here. And it's like it's basically for wealthy retirees. Like you come, you buy a $200,000 piece of property, you collect your Social Security and your pension, and you just live there. And they'll let you live there, and that's it. So like the ability to do that's really hard.
Yeah.
I don't have an online job. I do work online, but it's not quote unquote a job. So I don't have like a steady income. So I don't know what the threshold for that is either. You
yeah, last time I looked, it was 3,500 euros for an individual.
So
right now I'm rethinking that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then because we were looking at it too. And then I would have had to add 15% for a minor, for another person. So so I think, yeah. So it'd be an additional 15% per additional person in a household.
Yeah. So I couldn't see how I could necessarily make it work. There are other things like you can move there and open a business, but then you can't just do it as a freelancer. You have to employ at least 3 people, and it's like, man, every time I tried to find a way to wedge in, it didn't work.
Yeah,
there was no way for me to really do it. And I'm a European. I'm a real American. I'm a European mutt. I'm basically everything but like Spanish. So there's no country in Europe where I actually qualify for citizenship by descent. The only one that comes close is Lithuania, but my ancestors moved from there like 10 years too soon.
So I hear about this a lot.
I'm so angry.
Quite resentful.
Like you couldn't wait. I understand the Germans were attacking. You couldn't just wait another 10 years, right?
He's joking.
It's World War I. I mean, it wasn't even like the worst of the world wars. Like you could have waited.
He's joking.
Yeah, it's not their fault. So I don't qualify for citizenship by descent anywhere because my ancestry is spread thin across all of Europe. So I started looking at other countries. I looked at Bulgaria. That one would have been easier, but it was still kind of complex. I could have done that one. I would have had to open an LLC there. do a few other things. I don't remember exactly what all the requirements were, but anytime it's an EU country, it's really difficult. And I kind of came to the conclusion, I was like, well, that's probably not going to work either. Because I want to have the freedom to wherever I go to be able to work and to do a few other things if I need to. And like it's just like the paperwork and the bureaucracy of doing that in any EU country is really difficult. So then I started looking at other countries, and it basically came down to Albania and North Macedonia. So in North Macedonia, you can qualify for residency permit there if you purchase a property that's worth more than 40,000 euro. So that was definitely on the table. I looked at some properties there. Then I also looked at properties here. So what ended up happening is I started making investigative trips over here. So I started coming over, spending a serious amount of time in Albania and some time in North Macedonia, trying to just, do I like the country? Do I like the people? Do I like the culture? Do I like the properties I'm seeing? And I really fell in love with the place, and especially the people and the food. And it's like, okay. And I really enjoyed it. A lot of people here in southeastern Albania do speak Greek, so it allowed me to communicate, even though pretty much very few people over 40 speak English. So that can be...
it has been helpful when we're trying to communicate with older people. It seems to be a lot of like the cab drivers and things like that, and you're able to speak Greek with them.
Yeah,
because they don't speak English, and that's been really helpful a few times.
Yeah, and that's here in Southeast Albania. If you're in the rest of Albania, then it would have to be Italian, and I don't know Italian. So, so I came and I looked at places, and I really liked it, and I decided that it's something I really wanted to do. And this kind of goes to something else I was going to talk about. I talked about the costs. At the time it was I didn't move here to save money. I moved here because I wanted to live in this part of the world. But one of the things that made Albania really attractive was the extremely low cost of living, the extremely low cost of housing. So I remember I looked at a penthouse in Vlor that had a gorgeous ocean view, sea view, I should say. And it needed a little bit of work, but it wasn't too bad. And it was like 80,000 euro. Today, that same place would probably be 300.
Yeah.
So it was the right decision at the right time. The dollar was very strong then. So when I came here, for every US dollar, I got 120 lek. So that was really good.
Amazing.
Today,
wow,
for every US dollar, you only get 80 lek. So that's like a 40 lek swing. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Massive difference. So, people who are still looking at Albania going, oh, you can buy these beautiful properties and the cost of living is so cheap. That's not the case anymore. For one thing, the prices have more than doubled since then. On everything. Like I'd go out for food and it would be like 300 lek for like a bowl of pasta. And I was just, oh, this is insanely great. And plus I was only, for me in dollars, it was like $2.60 because of the exchange rate. Nowadays, that bowl of pasta is 600 lek. And so it's really more like $7.
Yeah.
So the prices have more than doubled. And
that's still really affordable compared to the U.S.
It's still really affordable compared to the U.S., but not what we're just talking about eating out, which is kind of its own thing. So the drop in the dollar has been really hard, and then the inflation, the doubling of prices has made it hard. So it's gotten really expensive. And now I was talking about eating out, but anything else, like like if you want to buy a house, I bought my house for like I think it was 42,000 euro. Today it would probably be 70 or 80, and then you've got to consider the exchange rate too. So now we're looking at $100,000. So like just that, more like just in a few years, more than doubled. So I know a lot of Americans are still thinking, oh, I want to go to Albania because it's inexpensive, and just forewarn you, it is no longer inexpensive. In fact, we found a lot of things when we were in Germany that were significantly cheaper there than they are here in Albania, despite the fact that the average
The groceries seemed comparable or cheaper.
cheaper, considerably cheaper.
Yeah.
I think.
Eating out was way more expensive, like way more expensive.
Yeah, eating.
But we were also in Berlin.
We were
like
in Berlin,
downtown.
and we were eating out really well too. We
Yeah.
were like, we were making a day of it because we were tourists there, so you spend more money.
Yeah.
We could have eaten probably street food a lot.
Yeah, they
less
had,
expensively.
but the groceries were really, really affordable.
Yeah. So things have gotten way more expensive here.
Yeah.
Way more expensive. The currency has been an issue, as I said. So those sorts of things have kind of changed, and people need to be aware that it's like if you watch a YouTube video and it's a couple years old, the information is no longer even remotely accurate. I mean, not even close. Like it's other things, like electronics here, extremely expensive.
Yeah.
My guitar amplifier in the States is $600. Here, I paid over $1,000 for it.
Yeah.
Things here are just. Yeah.
I noticed that too. Like sometimes just shopping around clothing stores, and sometimes it's kind of hard to find good deals unless you go to. There's certainly markets and secondhand stores and places, but sometimes I'm a little surprised at like things you can find a lot more affordably, and well, like in Germany, but also in the U.S.
Yeah. So I buy most of my clothes secondhand, but like if you go into like a store like this, like sports something, I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
you're going to
crazy
pay
expensive.
crazy expensive.
I can't remember what it's called either. Sports something.
I had to buy. I was in Eurocaster and I was out of socks and I didn't have a washer, so I just went to one of these stores and like bought like a 6-pack of socks, and it was like €20.
Yeah.
It's like holy shit, that's a lot of money for a bag of socks. They were Adidas socks, but I didn't care. I needed socks.
What I noticed about that particular sporting goods store, they have like Adidas and Nike branded things at their full price. And in the US, you can always find those brands at like TJ Maxx or some outlet store, and we don't have those outlet stores here.
Yes.
At least I'm aware of.
Yeah, so when we were in Germany, we went to TJ Maxx, called
TK
Maxx there, but it's the same. It's the same thing. And the clothing that we bought clothing because it's like it was way cheaper to buy clothes there than it was to buy it here.
I got my beautiful jacket. I got this really nice winter jacket, like Mount Everest jacket for like €80. I was really happy with that.
Yeah, so if these are things you're I want to go to Albania and I'm watching YouTube videos and it's so inexpensive, that's not the case anymore. People need to be aware of that
still compared to the US, it's inexpensive. Like in my place, I pay less than $500 a month, and it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath with an amazing view.
I don't think you get that today here. I think you're grandfathered in. I think if you move out and your place gets re-rented, I bet you that doubles or comes close. There's actually some other immigrants that moved here to Pogradec, and they don't have a place that's even as nice as yours, and they're paying almost €800 a month.
They were renting an Airbnb though.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Okay, well, still.
I think long-term rentals are still cheaper than
It was
that.
a long-term Airbnb, at least.
It was a month. That was their
it?
monthly price, yeah.
Oh, I thought they moved here semi-permanently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like rent-wise, it's compared to the U.S., it is still less expensive.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But certain things are going to be way more expensive. Clothes and groceries. Actually, a lot of groceries are more
Produce
expensive here.
is really good quality and also cheaper. So I like the produce.
Well, produce you're buying from street vendors. Things you go into the supermarket to buy are going to be more expensive.
They are
than
pricey,
in the US, I think. Certainly way more expensive than Germany.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? I guess it was something else, but I got off track. So just be aware of that. It's not the same as it was.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly saving tons of money by living here versus the U.S. because I had my budget in the U.S. and I have my budget now, and it's still, for me, it's super affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not, but the thing is, you got here 3 years or you visited here 3 years prior to me,
Right.
so I never experienced those prices. So I adapted to
Yeah.
these, and to me, it still feels like really good prices to me,
Yeah, well, like
all things considered.
to purchase property,
Medical is affordable.
so my parents are looking to potentially move here, but they were also looking at, they have a house in Florida and they don't want that anymore. They were looking at getting a condo instead, and the condos that they were looking at in Florida were cheaper than what we looked at here, which, it's like, okay, so it was, not only was it not on par, but it was like a new build condo was cheaper than like what some of the places we looked at here.
Wow.
So, yeah, these are things that just people need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So let's, I know we've gotten a bunch of questions, and I'm sorry, it's hard to
I
like,
haven't kept
Yeah,
up.
I know.
And mine
Well,
actually froze, it looks like.
we're trying to talk and keep our thoughts together, and it makes it hard to read. Let's see. What are the prices of houses there? I see a lot of apartments, but not a lot of houses online. It depends on where you're at. There is a house potentially for sale up the street in my village. They want 50,000 euros for it. It has no property. It's just basically the house with maybe like 2 meters of space between it and the wall that walls it off from the road. I believe it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's a nice little place. But that's 50,000 euros, and that's a really good price. That's a really good price. I don't know how much longer they're going to be priced that way, but I'm in the village too, so that's something you really need to consider. Village properties aren't nearly in as high demand as properties that are in town. It's 2 different worlds completely.
Yeah.
So if you look at a house in town, these days you're probably looking at 200K. So yeah, at least, which is still cheaper than a lot of the U.S., but not all of it. How is it shopping in Italy and Greece and bringing things back? Do they charge a large duty, or you're not saving it? Like if you're shopping like that, I mean, never paid any kind of duty, and we're not bringing boxes full of stuff back. It's like, oh, you buy a couple shirts and like the knife I got you in Germany. It's like almost like de minimis kind of items. That hasn't been any kind of issue. But they do. I know when you drive through, sometimes at border checkpoints, they will check to see if you're like purchasing large amounts of goods. But I do know that people will drive to North Macedonia to buy groceries because they're cheaper there, and gasoline is cheaper there. So they will.
That's quite a drive just to get some groceries and gasoline.
Well, that speaks to how expensive the groceries have gotten here.
Yeah.
So they'll go there, and as long as you're not have just piles and piles of stuff, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah. So to answer your question, it's not a big deal unless you're like literally like importing like lots of stuff. If if you're in a foreign country and you pick up a few things, just like if you're going back to the United States, it's like they may have changed this under the new regime, but it was a time like if you had less than $800 worth of goods, like you didn't have to declare it. It's just like,
gotcha.
I bought some shirts, I bought a ring and whatever, not a big deal. But if you start like buying things in bulk, they might raise an eyebrow at you and charge you some kind of duty fee. Let's see.
Dan says Rocky is cheaper than Tennessee moonshine.
So Spider Webster says she has a 1-bedroom on the outskirts of Tirana at 450 lek per month. So that's like $520 a month, roughly, maybe up to 550 at the most, I would say. If you start including if there's any fees with like building maintenance and like elevator maintenance, apparently, and things like that. Yes, it's like asking the price of a house in the U.S. Are you talking rural Nebraska or coastal California?
That's a really good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good point.
So, I had a beautiful house in Ohio. I mean, this is going back almost a decade now, but I bought that place for like $70,000, and it was like a Victorian house on a brick street. It was beautiful, but it was in Ohio, so. when I ended up selling, I sold that house on Zillow not too long ago. And it was still under $200,000. Which, it's like, wow. And it was in a nice place. Whereas here, a house in town would cost you at least that much. And then again, you got to keep that exchange rate in mind. You might see something online and say, oh, it's 100,000 euros. Well, man, that's 120 some thousand dollars now. Once you pay taxes and everything else.
Yeah.
So you got to keep those.
Yeah, when I moved into my place, the 400 euros was about $411 or $412, and now it's about $487 per month.
Yeah.
So.
Dan brings up a good point. It's another thing that's very expensive here. Gasoline is like $8 a gallon. So not everything is super cheap. So like I was close. I said 520 to 550 USD a month for Spider Webster's apartments and 546 USD.
Good job.
Yeah, always. And that exchange rate changes every day. The dollar took another hit the other day, so you always got to keep an eye on that. Somebody asked about the property taxes on small houses. So I pay less than €4 a month in property taxes, and it's just part of your water bill here. So it's like I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
That's a great advantage because I paid a lot more. I think I paid over $2,000 a month when I lived in Florida. Or 2,000. I think I paid like $2,500 a year in property taxes on my house in Florida, and it was like it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then in Ohio, I don't remember what I think actually I do. In Ohio, I think it was like $800 a month. But now we're talking about like 10 years ago. I don't know what it would be now.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just another thing to consider. There's so many different things to consider. It's like, oh, well, produce is super cheap, but groceries are super expensive. Gas, you know what I mean? So there's so many different things to consider based on your situation and what that's going to look like.
Yeah, and if you do move here, like look into these things. And it's like, oh, don't come here and then buy a laptop. Buy one at home first. And bring it here because like you in some like my guitar amplifier, $600 in the U.S., $1,000 here.
Yeah.
So like almost double.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference. I don't even really like the amplifier. I'm disappointed in it. So let's see. Gas is expensive and the transit isn't the best. No trains. It would be so nice to have trains here.
Yeah, it would.
But at least where you live, most places are very walkable as far as many stores and supplies there. Yeah. It's walkable if your feet work. Hopefully, my feet are my primary mode of transportation.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things my doctor said too, is between my hiking and my walking for pleasure and for utility, I've been putting just an enormous amount of strain on my flat feet. I ordered some inserts. I've got some arch support coming. Yeah. Multiple different types. So I can try on some different ones. I bought a bunch of insoles and made some arch supports myself, and that's actually helped a lot. So I'm going to be focusing on taking really good care of my feet. I bought several new pairs of shoes, and I'm a miser, so I've been like wearing the same pair of shoes for over a year. And the doctor's like, well, that's you've got to have some. Like they're not going to support your feet after that. So if your feet work, that's a great way. It's the primary mode of transportation other than a bicycle or a car here, or buses, but no trains. I think there is a train now from Durrës to Tirana. But that's it. And they're talking about extending it, but it'll be probably at least a decade before that's on.
Yeah, it'd be so nice.
Yeah. It's one of the things we loved about Germany was traveling by train. Just fantastic.
Spider Webster says, I hope your feet continue to get better so you can get around.
Yeah, me too. It's important. I'm a walker. I love to walk. I don't. My good friend Alias is
he's a bike guy.
Semi-pro cyclist. He's looking for a new racing bike now. And I just don't enjoy riding bikes. It's just
gosh. And after that story that James told about seeing the guy get hit on the bike.
Yeah. I probably will start riding my bike more just to take a load off my feet, but I'm not gonna like it. I need an e-bike, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Your feet continue to get better. Thank you. Our Fiat diesel gets over 50 miles a gallon. That's really good. And the Vespa is about 70. You don't want a giant SUV. Yeah, for sure. I would like a small SUV though. If we do get a car, what I would like would be like a Suzuki Samurai, Suzuki Jimmy, or something along those lines. It's because we're we're kind of adventure people, and we need like a little 4-wheel drive so we can go explore and go to the places we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
My friend James, if you follow James Life Arts channel, he might be selling his van, so I'm mulling over buying that. But it's a big vehicle, and I'm sure it's not good on gas, but it is 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he has it decked out with a
He's
solar
taken it
panel.
to some pretty impressive places.
Yeah, he takes it everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, all the way up to that Grady Camias. I mean, our cab drivers couldn't get us up there, but he drove all the way up there.
Yeah, it's an awesome van, 4-wheel drive Volkswagen. If you watch his channel, you see it all. You know what
everyone knows what it looks like. Yeah.
Maybe I'll purchase that, and I'll razor off his logo off the back and
put yours up.
Craig
Yeah.
Z Meeting on the back. It would be kind of I would probably make a video of it if we did that, because it would be kind of a cool passing of the torch. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Dan, I know Dan's your Fiat Panda's 4-wheel drive. That's really cool. And
that is cool.
If you want to get out and do adventurous things in Albania, like a lot of the interesting places are still unpaved, and even my road here in the village. Most of my village is paved, but my road isn't, and there is a significant rut in part of it where I wouldn't drive a small car up my own road.
Yeah,
it's been a source of frustration.
And certainly lately with walking, because we still have to walk that 5 or 10 minute walk just to get to the road to get in a car even.
Right. Before that rut developed, when I'd rent a car, I could pull it right up to my house, but they redesigned the main road way up above our village, and now like they've channeled water and it comes through in a different way. And when it rains, it just cuts this really deep, nasty rut in the road. So nobody... I can't complain because I'm only paying $4 a month in property taxes, but it's like, oh, it'd be nice if they would put in a culvert and like fix the road so you could drive a car up it. But they have not. It's been over a year. So maybe I'm playing with the idea of getting together with some of the villagers and getting out some picks and shovels and purchasing a culvert and doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
So that we can have road access to our little street here.
I'm sure your neighbors would help.
Yeah, there's only one person on this road that has a vehicle, so it's like not that big a deal to them. A lot of them have access on the
other side,
that's how they park, but I do not. So I love James's Euro van. Yeah, it is. It's a super cool van. We'll say it's like high mileage, and the gas thing is really it's expensive. Like it'd be expensive to operate.
Yeah.
So probably it's going to need repairs on a semi-regular basis because of the mileage. And the gas, I'm sure.
He has solar panels on it?
He does have solar panels.
That's pretty sweet.
It's all set up for camping, and also like it would be super. He's done a lot of work on it.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It would be the perfect vehicle for us, but we'll see. I'll talk to him about it. I've been here in Tirana. I live near old tracks, and one side has rutted dirt road. Yeah, you're gonna find that a lot. Lots of. Anytime you want to go explore in Albania, you have to be prepared with 4-wheel drive, I think. If you just want to drive around to the normal places with a car, that's fine. You and we want to get out and experience the wilderness and do things like that. We really want to start camping and doing a few other things like that. So need some kind of 4-wheel drive vehicle. Yeah, when we visited La Couche, I think that's what it says, our friend Mercedes was dragging over boulders in the river. Yeah, so like, you got to stay on the paved roads, which I have gotten really something in Albania. They've put a lot of effort into repaving, and there's a lot of the paved roads have improved significantly since the first time I got here. What we would call interstates in the U.S., I'm not sure what they call them here. They're all like have been recently paved and very smooth driving. The lanes are narrower, because we're in Europe, but the main road system here is very good. It's just when you want to go explore and go somewhere else, go into villages, go to ancient ruins, all these other places, there's going to be a lot of dirt roads. And it can get swampy, and it can get bumpy, and it can get rocky.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had some other things on my list, but we've gone over an hour now. We're at almost an hour and 24 minutes here. So I think we're going to wrap things up. I'm starving. Fire's dying again. So we need to
Rico's hungry. We gotta feed Rico.
Good old Rico. And so think I'll say thank you
Thanks
so much
everyone for
Yeah.
joining us. And again, sorry that we can't get to all the comments, but I do kind of scan through them. And I really appreciate all the nice comments and everyone's participation in our live stream. And for those of you who don't comment, we still appreciate you as well. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks everybody. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday night. And yeah, we appreciate all of you guys. Oh, there is one other thing I did want to bring up before I end. Now, you know what? I'll save it till next Sunday. We'll save it till
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. That's right.
I don't even know what it is.
Stay tuned. So come back and visit next week, and we'll talk about some other developments. And,
cool.
Yeah. So cheers, everybody.
Not in the mirror.
Not in the mirror. Mir Popsham, and good night, everybody. I kind of like it when you do it. I did it the one time, but
You don't trust yourself to make sure it's
no,
out.
I'll knock it off the tripod.